The corner of Cass and Peterborough, Detroit's Chinatown, long forgotten, or is it? Detroit Historical Society curator Lily Chen and Chief Exhibitions Officer Tracy Irwin want to prevent that from happening. Their exhibition, Detroit's Chinatowns, presents the story of a neighborhood intertwined with so many Detroit immigrant communities.
I'm the daughter of two Chinese immigrants that came in the 1980s. And because I'm from a later generation of immigrants that were more highly educated and spoke Mandarin, I grew up unaware that Detroit was actually home to a thriving Chinese community for so long. So this project is very much a love letter to the communities that came before me that really paved the way so that I have an opportunity to flourish today. This really makes me emotional, but it's like there are so many people that were so brave for so long so that, later generations can come and make a life.
Detroit is a city with so many forgotten or lost community stories. The Detroit Historical Museum's Community Gallery fills in those gaps.
But sometimes we find stories that we need to tell and we don't have another space within the museum to tell it, so that we then work with the community to help tell a story. Lily, our assistant curator, she brought the story to us and we were like, yes, we have to tell this story. So then she sought out community members through the oral history program to tell the story. So, they were able to come in, share their perspective, and then put this amazing exhibit on the wall.
So much of the Chinatown community, and I'm so proud of this, is still here in the Detroit area. And when we kind of started to contact the major Chinatown families and all these different people that had lived in Chinatown, they came out and said, we've got these artifacts in our attic or in our basement or in photos, in photo books, and all of the kind of community members were willing to share those and to tell their story. So we're so grateful. Really, this is a truly community curated exhibit because the community members were willing to share all the things that they had, and you can see a huge range of those artifacts in the exhibit. One special family that contributed a lot of artifacts is the Lim family, and they were the second owners of the Shanghai Cafe, and it was a single mother with 3 kids who ran the restaurant on her own, and many other women in the Chinatown history who are featured in the exhibit as well were just such heroes and carried their families and their businesses with such resilience.
Some amazing finds to see here. Items once commonplace in Chinatown thought to be discarded, destroyed. Chen connected with the ex-Chinatown community to put together this unique collection, revealing artifacts hidden from the public for decades.
One of them is the original mahjong table that came from the Lim family. It is, estimated to be from the 1950s, but probably from earlier. This is an artifact that would have been played in Chinatown during that time. That artifact is so cool. It's the table, as well as the surrounding chairs, the light, and the actual mahjong set. It's an honor to have some of our veteran medals, including a Silver Star and Congressional Gold medals, which were awarded to Chinese American veterans that served in World War II, and they're here on display.
This is a rewarding dive into the stories, the images, the artifacts. But what relevance does Detroit's historic Chinatown have now, 20, 40, 60 years later? The exhibition's creators hope we can step back and see the much bigger picture.
Obviously, the Detroit Chinatown story is very relevant today, with demolition, with communities talking about it. So having this exhibition in this space at this time is serving a community need. We're able to not only talk about the Detroit's Chinatown and really tell a story that so many people don't know about, but talk about why it was here, why it is no longer here, and hopefully be able to carry that story into the future.
One of the things that I like to think about and work with is at the intersection of history and memory. The fact is that this is a big part of not only AAPI history, but just Detroit history. I would really hope that there are more ways for the communities of Cass Corridor, of which there have been so many through history, to be able to remember and celebrate their histories. As a historian, the major thing that I don't want to have happen is for these communities to be forgotten.
Watch One Detroit, Thursday at 7:30 p.m.
You can find more at onedetroitpbs.org or subscribe to our social media channels and sign up for our One Detroit newsletter.